Well, I'm sure you know this part already. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa. Welcome to the finest ritual on radio, a ritual that brings Ghanaians together without labels, a ritual I call That's My Opinion. Every Monday we meet up after news night, and together we make it happen. Folks, 25 years of media excellence, and this can only happen right here on Joy 99.7 FM, where we are free to express our thoughts and expand our creativity. And I've said this many times, and I stand on it. Most media houses cannot handle this show. I mean, they would have kicked us out long time ago, or edited us, or censored it. But here we are, and for that we are grateful to the great Kwesi Chum and all the bosses of multimedia for allowing us, for year in, year out, once a week, come out and share and pour out and express our feelings to the border, if I may say it. And we call it That's Our Opinion. Folks, I have thought very hard to come up for title for today's show. And since it's Ghana month, I choose to ask the question that does the freedom and justice apply to all Ghanaians? Does the freedom and justice, folks, does it apply to all Ghanaians? And the subtitle will be Justice for some Ghanaians. Folks, there are days that, I am open-minded to the topic I bring. There are days that I don't even have an opinion. I just bring it up and let's see, what happened. But today, I cannot even budge on my position. I am sticking to my ground without fault and without apology. I am sticking to my opinion. And I pray also that we will all see where I'm coming from and take it up, because I strongly believe it is humanity. So for once, that before God, if ever Ghana was to stand before God, we can stand on today's topic and the decision we take today and say to God Almighty that, you know something, we did some good. Folks, this current generation, we have almost mortgaged everything that our children will inherit someday. It's scary, almost insane, but very true. Folks, precious minerals from the earth. Even fish, folks, even fish in the sea. Oil exploration is on overdrive. Timber, gone. The forest itself, depleting. Fresh water for the future is under serious attack. Fresh water. Land dissipation is at its peak. Folks, even language that will hand over to the future is going. Language. The culture is with the dogs. The identity. Folks, the identity for our children and our children's children is already with the dogs. The state is just borrowing and leaving behind huge and unsustainable debts. What investment, folks, are we leaving for them to reap the benefits if it gets to their time? What investment? Our education is the worst, or one of the worst in the world. Folks, our education is one of the worst in the world. Look at what we are practicing today as churches and as preacher men. Sickening. See them videos on, come on your WhatsApp and you look at the congregation, the numbers of people in these churches and the caricatures leading them. Sickening. And we call them churches and preachers. Folks, material seeking role models are what we are celebrating. I have cars, I have watches, I have Range Rovers, I have this. We are celebrating these things. And on our TVs, folks, the nudity, the betting, gambling, alcoholism, we show and celebrate it at all times of the day. Folks, this is what we are leaving behind for the children. That's their future. Well, it is as though we are the last people to exist here. After us, that's it. Nobody's going to occupy this place. And we continue to do it and increase it and perfect it as if it's business as usual. That's what we are leaving for today's child. Maybe you can call and say, oh, no, you are lying. There's no showing nudity on TV, you are lying. Or education is the best in the world, you are lying. Alcoholism is... you can call and disagree with me. But in reality, that's what we are leaving behind. Now, I know we are selfish, but this should be of concern to us. This should worry the youth. You who are leaving all this mess and you're jumping up and down and supporting us, you should be worried. What are we leaving behind? So folks, hear me out here. If after robbing the child of his or her future, you rob that child of its very own childhood, then that's where I stand my ground to say I won't budge on my position. Folks, if you, after robbing a child of his or her future, you rob that child of its own very childhood, then I won't budge on my position, and I won't apologize either. A child with no childhood or future, folks, a living ghost, a bag of negative emotions, guilt and pain, growing up in a wicked world. Oh, Jesus, recipe for disaster. Folks, now somewhere last week, the headmaster of the Little Republic of Edumasa Primary called. He reported to me a suspected child abuse case. Immediately, I got the police and DOPSU involved. Now, this is no matter for the palace. This should go straight to the police, and so it was sent straight to the police. And I must say, they did well. Chief Superintendent Owusua, director for DOPSU, literally was willing to send a car from Accra all the way to Edumasa to help do the investigation, whatever it is. Sometimes somebody offers you a favor, you're unable to say yes or no. And I must say thank you to Chief the DSP Libabatu Abdullah Chum, who's Ghana Police Service Divisional for DOPSU coordinator in Akosombo. Now, these two women did great. But I must plead with the state that at least anywhere there's a DOPSU office, if there can be a reasonable car, so that in certain cases they can at least get a car to go and do their investigation. These are hard times and are real times. But they did very well. But my shock, and maybe I'm too naive, and I will ask you to pardon me for that naivety. Folks, the little girl suspected to be defiled was taken to the Akosombo hospital. I called to follow up on the case, and I told the case, it was a dead case. Why? Well, the fee to get a doctor's report, which is admissible in court for prosecution, is 300 Ghana cedis. 300 Ghana cedis. This is the family on a leap program. The case has ended. The police can't prove anything in court without the doctor's note. The police officer can't use her money to pay. 300 Ghana cedis is not easy, folks. It's not easy even for some people in Accra, let alone outside in the Republic. But in short, there was no case. Go home. Now, this 300 cedis being charged goes directly to the doctor, and it is GMA approved. The Ghana Medical Association approved. As at 1st September 2019, they actually reviewed their prices and increased it. It's across board. Now, some doctors are rigid that to them it's cash or go and suffer your injustice. And that's what I mean by justice for some Ghanaians. So as we are celebrating Ghana Month, I am asking, this freedom and justice, is it just for the privileged few who live in the cities, or is it for all of us? However, it's between 300 to 500 cities. So to get a report from a general practitioner. So maybe 300 cities, they were being kind. As soon as I heard, folks, as soon as I called and I was told that the case had been stopped because of these 300 cities, I called my good friend Martin Pebu, a lawyer, whom I know had taken the state to court for these practices to stop. And after explaining to me that this is not the law, because yes, they've taken to court the Martin Pebu versus the Attorney General, that the state must have a fund. The state should institute a fund to support people who are defiled or raped, because you cannot have a 6-9-year-old girl raped come to police station and you tell the same girl, say, 300, but the child could be an orphan. Go and find me 300 CDs for a report, which is the reality. So I shared my disappointment. Then the reality of the matter came out. Folks, people are suffering in the name of poverty. And no wonder some chiefs and pastors and family heads are just dealing with these cases themselves, because no one has these 300 CDs to get this report to follow the case up. I got a call from Akosumbo. You were very apologetic or peeved that if they had received report about my broadcast, they had received a report about our broadcast, and they were saying that if I had written to them or if I had asked them, they could have waived the fee. Now, how was I to know? The case had already ended before I got involved. And then they came in and said, well, if you apply to the hospital to say the child is destitute, they would waive the report. I was only following up on the case, and I may not have known the case had ended if I hadn't personally followed it up. But folks, check this out. Check this out. Some doctors were very angry indeed. Some are still very angry with my position. And I think my wife even made the matter worse. So I am told on doctors' platforms, they gave it to us well. But it shocked me, folks. A lady doctor that I was, sending messages imply that a girl defiled brought to the hospital doesn't deserve any special treatment, as she has also come to the hospital with a condition of rape or condition of defilement, just as a girl that's been brought to the hospital for HIV or cancer. One thing which seems to cut across those who think along the same line is that stop being emotional. Stop being emotional. Wow. Can you believe it? But I guess after all, that's how we are all been brought up. We have been brought up to be selfish, me, myself, and I in my gated community, and this is only a poor girl that's been defiled. Who cares? She doesn't attend Martin de Porres, or she's not my daughter's mate at Red Church or AIS or Uncle Hobby. So if somebody's defiled her, don't be emotional. Go and find the 300 and I'll give you the statement. That shocked me. After all, it's only a poor girl that's been defiled. That statement is why I decided to follow up with this show. I just want to know, to find out if truly this is what or how Ghanaians think. Look, I know we have, really gone below the belt on certain things. But I really want to know that on this particular instance, that's how we think. Don't be emotional about a little girl or poor destitute whose childhood has been taken away. And the trained doctors can really look at a girl, probably who was defiled for getting 2 CDs to buy food. Maybe that's why she was even taken advantage of. And you ask her to bring 300 Ghana CDs to get justice. Folks, if she had 300 Ghana CDs, she probably would have escaped this defilement. But the doctor's argument is that if I signed, this note I may be called to court. And the back and forth in my own car with their own fuel can be daunting. So the 300 cedis is for security or insurance, just in case there's a need to appear in court. Then, I will use that money for fuel. I have not had the opportunity to ask any doctor, what if there's no court case? What if your note is good enough in court? Which in most cases, your note is good enough in court. Once you sign to say, look, I have investigated and A, B, C, D has happened, 9 out of 10 times, the doctor is not called. Does the money get refunded? Does the money get refunded? Folks, such cases of defilement, is against the state. And so the state would ask you to go to a state-run facility for a report. It will be very rare for a state to say, go to Nyaho Clinic for a report or go to Nightingale Clinic for a report. No. They would always tell you, go to that polyclinic, go to Legon Clinic, go to a clinic that the state run for the report. The state then will provide the prosecution. So the police would come with the report to come and prosecute. And so when the argument is that the victim would find money for a lawyer to go to court, and therefore as a doctor the victim must find money for me too, I find it hard to buy as an argument. I find it hard to buy as an argument. Folks, in the judgment, I don't see why the doctors won't agree with me. That it can be that a girl on a leap program, poor, bring you 300 Ghana cedis only to get justice. I mean, what blessing is in that sort of money? I mean, this should be the responsibility of the state, so that those have-nots with us in the society will not be denied justice in this particular case. But folks, unless we, the so-called middle class, stop being selfish, the state will go to sleep, as it has. And we will debate as though there's two sides to this. It is wrong. It is a sin. It is a sin on the nation. It is an indictment on the nation. It is wrong, and it must be stopped at once. Folks, and I say, before any of these NPP, NDC campaigns start this year, maybe we should demand that, no, you have to show us the funds somewhere to help these little girls. Because now, all these idiots know that, listen, I will defile this girl because from his family, even if they catch me on video, they don't have that 300 CDs to get a report and get me jailed. They're taking advantage. Folks, we the middle class, we think we are fine. But our children will have to share the same Ghana with these wounded souls. We should insist that the right thing be done. We know what is right. In this case, there is no doubt what is right. There's no two sides to it. You can't have a little girl poor, and this country has denied opportunity to many. Go and bring 300 cities. If they sell everything they have, they won't make 300 cities. And so you say, well, then I won't sign it because I'll be asked to come to court. And funny enough, folks, Sundays, all the churches are filled up. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. The churches in I am mad. Doctor na ban woman baby pantana or a doctor. And yet still, they just refuse to give signature, ink, ta 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 ta. You can't even read your handwriting anyway. On Simon, because we need 300 cities. Yes, I befriend some court. Folks, I told the story once, many times. Those of you who are, ardent listeners. Now, this couple were walking off a cliff, right? And then they turned around and Reggie wasn't there. Where's Reggie? They realized Reggie had fallen in the cliff, and the tide was coming in, the sun was going down, so the Coast Guards had to rush in. They had to make this thing before the full tide came in. Ambulance was on standby, medical staff, the whole team, fire service, everything trying to rescue Reggie. And they managed to do it before the tide came so that the Coast Guards can get away and everything. And Reggie was a dog. Folks, Reggie was a dog. Only been in Kamana, top cliff atop him, and the sea is raging, and all these teams are moving, and there's a standby vet in an ambulance. Standby vet in an ambulance waiting for this dog to come out so that they'll check this dog out. That one I read it. This one I witnessed somewhere in Cockfosters, where a car hit and ran a dog and the car wouldn't stop. And then the next minute there's helicopters up. They had blocked the whole Cockfosters to find this car that hit this dog. Folks, how can they go all out to treat a dog this way? And we say, don't be emotional about a suffering human being, particularly a little girl. Human beings on this earth. One set of human beings have gone all the way out that even dogs, every care, everything is moved to make sure that the dog is saved. Folks, my own dog, Benny, anytime he ran away from home, I get a call from the vet because he has a chip in its ear. And as soon as they're scanning, I get a call, Mr. Shintimisa, your dog is in the pound, and then I go and get it. Folks, once upon a time, they catch this dog. They didn't put it in the local pond. They took it to Battersea for one reason or the other. 2-3 days, I get a call, and the bill was like £600-700 or something. I said, £700 for a dog there. But you know what? Keep it. I can't look after it anymore. A dog! And here we are, saying that a defiled girl has only come to the hospital with a condition. So drop emotions. And that's what I want to find out. How some people can be so emotional about a dog. So can you imagine if it was a human being? Folks, they would move. I'm sure they would move a whole army. And I'm sure they've done it. Somebody came to Nigeria or something from Spain and had Ebola. The Spanish government moved the whole Boeing 747 complete hospital, just came to rescue one person. But we say, drop emotions. After all, it's only a poor girl. Now, is this thinking general? Or maybe I'm just being too naive. Folks, it's 0302-216-541. I want to know what you are thinking. 0302-216-541. I want to know what you are thinking. Okay, who's my first caller?
Yeah, my name is Daniel, calling from Dansuman.
Daniel, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, you just hit it right. It's kind of sad what's happening. And then you ask yourself, what is the place of social welfare? Because they are in our various hospitals. And you wonder what they do. And they are paid monthly salaries. Can they take care of some of these things? Now, the Ghana Medical Association, it shouldn't surprise you. They go on strike. People die. Critically ill people die. Joy FM carried a story recently where they claim.
Oh, your line just dropped. Sorry, your line just dropped. 0302-216-541. Hello, who am I talking to?
Hello, my name is Mark.
Mark, let me hear you.
God will punish us. God will punish us. That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
I am very afraid that it's true. Honestly, I am afraid that it's true. right, that indeed God will punish us. Because this same monies that they use to buy these big cars and driving us off the road, these same monies that are provided for free for, these people to live, it's the same money that they could put some aside so that in case that little girl suffers an injustice like this, they could look after him. 0302216541. Let me hear you. Okay, who's on the line? Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, Nana.
Good evening.
This is Moha Fashion. I'm calling from Ablekuma Joma.
Let me hear you.
I hope you bring a lot of issues today, and the topics are so rich. And we are praying for the good listeners. They should think very well and do something good about what you are bringing to us to this evening. God said He is not going to punish whosoever hear that. When you change your evil thinking, He's not going to punish you. But if you didn't change your evil thinking, that is where God is going to punish you. If there will be good listeners and know what they are consuming is not good, God will forgive them. Bye-bye.
Good evening to you too. Good evening, Nana. You just made me tear. Sometimes I wonder where we went wrong, because all we seem to know is the problem. So what are we doing right? What are we not doing right? Doing the right thing is highly expensive in this country. We have embraced wrong and can't support people who do right. Our society is full of filth. Gabriel in McCarthy Hill. But who's on the phone with me? Hello.
Hello, Nana.
Yes, who am I talking to?
Good evening.
Good evening. Who's this?
Nana, Metawasi, any Aquenja way out Yamami. And they Mantuemu and a Yedi. See smart in Tina, you go so airhest a bit to Hona, your dinner. Nana, your Obeka will be a say, woman, yet emotional, no any pacron or your selfish and part. If you say, Antissa, and car, on to me, and a cancho say, men foul crack, and now body and share unia and pabuamu in who super tibia woman. Now, Sa Subai na air coso, a wagana ha, ama and kofubi against and kofubi and ye nipa. Ewo my women, I don't can be and or my and cosono. If we say, Sammy Uhumi, that's one for niti ama mia. Me who said the people cosum puka, me boamanie. Say, Susan passe, coronavirus.
Hello? Hello? Oh, the line keeps dropping. Sorry, but keep calling at 0302 216-541. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Sorry, good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, who am I talking to, please?
My name is Agnes. It's just an observation. As for Kusumo Hospital, if you want to die, you go there. The doctors don't care about anybody.
0302216541, and I'm looking at this issue, right? I'm looking at this issue where a little girl, the worst can happen to a little girl, and you ask them, "Want to see car?"
Input and hold. Please wait.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yes, Nana, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I talking to?
This is Titus, Dr. Titus Bayo.
Thank you very much. I'll give you time. Explain to me.
Okay. So it's a very pathetic story you've narrated. And I think it's a very sad one. I'm not going to try to justify whatever it is, because I don't know the details of it. Unfortunately, I was not getting a lot of network. But I just want to say that, first of all, these services can be offered pro bono. And therefore, it is the right of the doctor to decide to do this service pro bono so that they can help the poor girl. But I think we should look at it from the second angle that you are describing, which is trying to find the root cause analysis. As a nation, we make a law, and in that law, we make provisions. If you look at the content of our original police forms, it states that
even it's not the victims that are supposed to make that payment. There should be a fund from which payment can be made from. And so when that is not made available and everything is put at the blame of the doctor, I think it's a bit unfortunate. I do not hold brief for the doctor who did this, and I'm sure if the doctor understood the social circumstances of this child, this clearly qualifies for somebody to offer these services pro bono. But it also makes it clear for people to understand the point of view of the medical association, why we've had to come up with these standardized rates. It is not cast in stone that everybody must hold it as a trump card and say, I won't offer this service, I won't offer that service within a particular facility. No, that is not the intention of it. And so for peculiar cases like this, it can be offered pro bono. But just as you mentioned, we also have to be mindful of what happens to the doctor. You will work within a facility, you sign this form, the case may be called wherever it is, and you are the person who has to make your own time and go there.
Doc, please let me come in here. Because it's a state-run hospital, what do you say your own time? What do you mean by your own time? Because it's the state's time.
Good. Now, I hope that the state would have provided a driver to send you, gotten a vehicle to send you. We have doctors in Accra who have written reports for accident cases, and they call the case in Takoradi. Whatever time the case is called, you are subpoenaed. You have to stop everything you are doing and drive to Takoradi. Now, you may say that even if this is happening within working hours, it can be state time because you are being paid at that time. Does that also cover your risk of traveling to Takoradi? Does that cover your using your own fuel to drive to Takoradi? So I think we need to find root causes and find root solutions. So the normal scheme of affairs, I think, should have been that if a doctor working within a government hospital signs a police form, everything should be handled by the hospital. Hospital charges and handles everything there. If that doctor is subpoenaed to appear before any court, the hospital makes sure that the doctor is available at that court. He's relieved of his duties for that day. He should be provided for by transportation to get there, and then be even given legal aid if it's needed to be able to answer questions correctly to help defend the case, and then brought back. But a lot of the time, the doctors are left on their own. You are subpoenaed and you must appear.
I see we seem to depart and agree on the same point, because my motive today is that we should demand that the state provide all these things. But
exactly.
Could the GMA also have put the pressure on the state rather than on the patient? It could have helped.
Nana, I perfectly agree to that. And I think that has been a call we have made over and over again. We make a law, we make provisions for things in the law, and we never get to establish them. Nana, a case in point is there is a law that if you get an accident within 24 hours, when you get to a hospital, all your care should be taken care of. What is happening in our hospital? If you are the hospital manager, you use all your resources to take care of 1,000 patients who get an accident and they come in. There is no standing fund to give that money back to you. What it means is that your regular patients will come in and there's nothing for them. And a lot of hospitals would still take care of the accident patients within the first 24 hours without demanding for money there and then. But eventually, they'll give them a bill to pay, which is not what is in the law, because even though we have stated that they should be taken care of, no provision was made in terms of money. So I will join hands with you and with the entire nation for us to make that demand that we should make our laws work.
Thank you very much. And that demand we should make. So I'd say that at the moment we are picking on the easy tackle. Let me tell you another story that will make you sad. The day in USA, listen to me, right? A 9-year-old orphan, right? Living with mommy's friend. Mommy's now dead. Now, mommy's friend's husband is defiling this 9-year-old girl. She braves enough to go and tell the headmistress that, look, this is what this man is doing to me. Headmistress goes to Dofsu. This thing gets to the hospital, and then it's 300 cedis. Now, They demand the 300 cedis from the suspect who is defiling this 9-year-old girl to do the hospital report. Do you think he'll pay it? And so what? The case died. Now, because we can't prosecute the case any further, they give the girl back to the woman and the same husband who's defiling. These are the realities. This is not a matter of this Edumasan story. No. Edumasan, I'm just using it as a premises. But these are the stories out there. That a 9-year-old girl, orphan, only 300 cedis. The only person who has 300 cedis is the suspect defiling her. The police can't prosecute anymore. Can you imagine what would happen when she goes back to that house? So the state at all costs. And if it's too much, then we should ask ourselves that, hold on, how come that defilement cases are costing us so much? Then it means as a nation, we are sick. But there should be some money in a pot somewhere. There should be a car or something to provide the doctor, to send the doctor to court. But the state cannot, we can't just sit there say, and because they are poor, we are okay. Fine, me 300 cedis. It's not about me. But what about the little girl who my daughter has to share this Ghana with? No wonder sometimes when these armed robberies, they become so brutal, they are like animals. They are all damaged. Obi Korea phone, rape the woman, kill the man. They cause so much havoc over little because they are all pained. And we are sharing a Ghana with them. We must rise up, if indeed we are this middle class, and demand that, there's a certain line that we shouldn't cross as human beings. And this is one of them. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, this is Daniel.
Daniel.
Sorry, my line got cut.
Yes,
the point I was making was that, and if the doctor came in to say certain things that I don't agree, the doctors get fuel allowance, they get free fuel. So they can do these things as part of their social responsibility. And you nailed it right in the head. I mean, come on, the Ghana Medical Association, they should have been at the forefront of this if indeed they care for the patients, because they can't be charging people 300 Ghana cedis across board. Come on, there are people in villages, as you said, who cannot even afford this amount. But can you trust the GMA? You can't trust them, because even there are so many things that go in our hospitals. There are scanning machines that they claim have broken down, and they refer you to their own private facilities. There are so many wrongs in the system. And again, the social welfare, they have allocations every year in our budget. What is their place? And they are found in our various hospitals. So the police, I think, should be contacting the social welfare so that we can get to the bottom of some of these cases, unless the police themselves are trying to settle these cases after, of course, they call the party to take money from them, blah, blah, blah. So we should look at this thing holistically. And mind you, even when you go to our court, you have to pay 300 Ghana cedis to file a case. So I don't know whether the GMA is benchmarking their money on that. Even if it's 50 Ghana, is it not better? Why should they even increase it? And somebody defiles, whether the person is rich or not, should you charge them that much money? I don't think it makes any sense. Thank you.
Thank you too. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me? Hello, who's talking to me? 0302216541. And I'm so angry and outraged. Hello, who's on the line?
Yeah, Nana?
Yes, sir.
This is Shandor.
Let me hear you.
In fact, this is so much. This is ridiculous, right? Things shouldn't have happened for us to sit and listen to, and at the end of the day, we'll go back to our bed and sleep over it. Nana, let us. Some of us were ready. I'm ready about this case. I'm ready. I don't know if tomorrow we can just pick up the pieces and help this girl. Because it's a matter where we don't need to sleep over and just go. That is it. Please. I'll be ready tomorrow. I'll just put everything aside and just come.
Well, I thank you very much, and I'll keep you posted on the happenings. But, there's a line that I don't think is fair. I don't think we have to cross, and this is one of it. And as I said in the beginning, I want to apologize for believing that, no, if somebody walked into a consulting room, we are Ghanaians. Oh, sometimes, I mean, I know you can't judge a book from its cover. Come on, it. Oh, be what 300 CDs. I mean, you can fairly make a judgment. Hello, who's on the line?
Yeah, Nana, this is Ajima. Just a customer.
Ajima, let me hear you.
If somebody slaps somebody, and the person who slaps is supposed to be dealt with by the law, and the person has a lot of money, so we pay a lot to compensate the person whom he has assaulted, and he goes scot-free. And next time somebody also does the same thing because he hasn't got money, he has to be dead. Is it justice? And when you go to our churches, they appoint leaders in the church just because they contribute a lot in terms of money. But you who have served the church for a very long time and your dedication to church service is very great, they don't see you because you don't have money. So even from the churches, justice is not being done. God bless you for this powerful message.
God bless you too. God bless you too. Nana, in this country now, if you don't have money or political affiliation, you should only pray God doesn't let a misfortune befall you. Ghana needs serious rebirth. I can only ask for mercy for those who play Chaskele with their fellow human lives. SK Deriguba is Legon. Hello, who's on the phone?
I'm Mr. Blay Ambel. We Ghanaians, we don't laugh. We don't laugh. We don't have love at all. There are some of us who are not human beings. Sorry to say. Because
lower your radio. Lower your radio.
If the lady has a problem, a lady who is a poor lady, who should be helped. Nobody. We as you're saying, we all go to church. Look at the number of people who go. Nobody has love. The church talks about love, and we don't laugh. So that's what I will say. We don't laugh.
We must find the love. Folks, we must find the love. And I hope to God that, of all our sins, we won't add this one. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that with all our greed, our selfishness, and our sins, posterity will not judge us. That once upon a time there lived a generation where even if a childhood was taken away, that child would have to go and find money to get justice. Hello, who's talking to me? Hello, who's talking to me? Hello. Oh, lower your radio for me, please. Wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, worship without sacrifice, politics without principle. Nana, does the above sound familiar to you? A little country in the west of Africa? Lord have mercy. Odote ni Odote. Hello, who's on the phone?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
This is Wisdom Kaswa. In fact, a great topic you are discussing today. But I have a question for you.
Yep.
Now, are you ready to sacrifice for this country?
To an extent, yes.
Yes.
My brother, to an extent, yes.
I think we need people like you to take over the mantle of this country. Because it's the same thing with NDC and PP. Who will come and change? So if people that can do you are not ready, then where are we heading towards? Please, we are ready for you. Ghana is ready for you.
I will keep shouting, and I hope that one day, we shall listen. But it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, I know we have done nation wrong in so many ways, but this is sad. I want to say good evening to Dr. Beidu at Kolebu, and I know that Dr. Beidu, if you walk into his consulting and say, look, I'm a little girl and I've been defiled and I want you to check and sign on a paper to say I've been defiled, he just signs it and you go away. Because you know what? Most of the time, the note is as good enough as the doctor being there. Most of the time. Hello. Who am I talking
Hello.
to? Yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Tobit from Tema.
Let me hear you, my brother.
I'm Tobit from Tema.
Let me hear you.
I'm Tobit from Tema.
Yes, talk to me, my brother.
Yes. I'm grateful for the topic you're having this evening.
Mm-hmm.
You are opening a lot in the society. In fact, the issue is way beyond what we are discussing today.
Mm-hmm.
From incest cases, assault cases, spouse that do not have kobo who walk to police stations, and cases have to solve because they have none to contribute to pay for medical bills. So I'm grateful about the topic you are treating today, and then that will actually open up a lot of discussions on it, and we will make a headway. I'm grateful.
I'm so grateful, and I think you really expanded it. You really expanded it, even though I started with a defiled girl. It could be a poor, spouse, hasn't got money. It could be a poor individual that's just been abused. And just to send your doctor's note to, any courtroom to get justice, but you better get justice in your pocket. Dr. Baidu, we've been working with the domestic violence fraternity for years, and you've been sacrificing. And I'm sure there are many others like you who are also sacrificing. But there are lots there who are all upset, thinking that a defilement case is just a condition that's turned up at the hospital. I am sorry to say you're wrong. I am sorry to say you are very, very wrong, and I don't apologize to that. And as a medical officer, there must be something in there in your heart that says this is a no-no. This is just not an ordinary condition. This is not malaria. This is a person who's probably going to be broken for the rest of their life, who's going to meet your child one day. Folks, my name is Nana Ansah Kwao. Dr. Buama Mensah from Police Hospital has been so helpful for many years. He never charges money. You see? He's always available to attend to court and give evidence. Dr. Buama Mensah Onyami Shrao. Dr. Badu is a fantastic man. He looks after LC with love, patience, and attention to detail. Your food, your pan, your piano too. Your wajuma ye, no be shrao, send your wajuma ye tifa. I hope to God that in our lifetime this will be done. I hope to God that before we get to the next elections, while these people are so hungry for money, we will come together and tell them, set up this fund for that little girl, for that poor spouse, for that disadvantaged individual. Folks, my name is Nana Ansah Kwao, and as I always say, until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter.